Heyo everybody, Haku here with my live reaction to read through for Kubera Season 2, Episodes 76 through 80. I'm not going to list off every single one because I'm doing 5 chapters this week. So yeah, we'll go through each of these chapters. We'll finish off the one standing before me. Can't wait to get more into it. And then at the end of each chapter, thank you to, I don't know if you want me to go for Tipo here or Harkalata, but thank you for reminding me or letting me know that at the end of some of these chapters, there's bonus content. So at the end of each of these chapters, I will go and look at the bonus content, then I'll look at the afterward, and then we'll move on to the next chapter. I believe that's, I don't know if it's all 5 of these, but at least like 3 of these have that, and then also 81, but we're not getting into 81 until next week. Next chapter, next section is 8 parts, so we'll do 4 and 4. But either way, with that aside, I don't think there's too much more to say. I'm excited because things have been incredibly good, as they always are with Kubera. It's just an insanely amazing story, and if there's even any small criticism I could even think of, it's that last week after recording, I was going back through and rereading what I had just read, and I kind of noticed for like some of the panels with transformed Yuta and some of the action type stuff, there's some where like the characters like don't really have shading or shadows, and usually I absolutely adore the art in Kubera. I love the style. I think the only reason it stands out here is because instead of getting deep into character stuff and just focusing on conversational stuff or just focusing on comedic stuff, Currygom is portraying like serious action stuff. And so when there's the lower quality or lower detail there, then it's more noticeable because it's a panel that it's like, okay, we're meant to take this panel really seriously. And, you know, instead of being more stylistic, it is just straight up showing us transformed Yuta and stuff. But even then, it's not something that I think is a big complaint for Kubera, really. It's just, if anything I could think of to be any criticism, it's that. Sometimes the artwork is simple, and usually I like that. Usually I think it's a good thing. It's just in the specific circumstance of trying to portray like a really just serious panel that we're supposed to just look at and think, oh, this is cool. I think that's the only time it really even feels weak at all to me. But yeah, I guess that's really about all there is. And again, it's not even something that I think looks particularly bad. It's just I don't know, it doesn't look bad, but it's like notably I can see what you're going for, and the execution wasn't 100% what I think, you know, they were going for. But yeah, either way, let's start reading with 76. Let me make sure everything looks good for what you can see. Make sure you can see everything on screen. We have the slamming and the crashing, and Lee's looking on. Okay, so you were a Shura after all. Hey, well, what about you? You'd hate people who are picky about food, huh? It looks bad if someone complains about peppers or carrots or vegetables. And she's remembering that first dinner they ate together. Wow, you just devoured a double portion with one slurp. At least I think that was the first one where Asha was trying to test him. Did you even chew it properly? How'd you do that? I'm not even surprised now. Yuta, and now we didn't see this before. Yuta, did you hide just because of me? And oof, like Currygom really likes showing off the Kubitis. It's okay, you don't need to hide. Right, he can't speak. I'm such an idiot. Okay, so this is back when they were in the channel. I love when authors do this with characters like that. Like, very often it was done with Toph and Avatar The Last Airbender, characters just forgetting that she's blind and then saying something and be like, oh, sorry, forgot. Another one of these things where it's like, oh, right, he can't just yell back to me. Sorry for bothering you, Yuta. I'm leaving now, so just keep watching. She hears splashing and turns back. There was no way I couldn't have realized. I've seen and heard so much. She sees these massive Shura beneath. I already thought you might not be a half. Forget about me and head straight for the exit. What's this, Yuta? We see Ron as well here. Yuta, come back, it's dangerous. Okay, when that fight happened. He wasn't taken away. He left himself. He'll come back on his own. So don't freak out and try to save him or anything. But everyone was hoping I wouldn't figure it out. And again, this is just more of the being Kubera is suffering. Lee's being left out of the loop and realizing that, okay, everybody else knew and they just weren't telling me. Man, this is rough. But everyone was hoping I wouldn't figure it out. Because again, in a world where these big things are happening, there's crazy Shura battles going on. A city was just flooded, essentially. And it's under attack. And in the midst of all of that, there's this real emotional core where it's like, all this horrible physical stuff is happening, but you feel so terrible for Lise emotionally and what she has to be going through, being like, oh yeah, all of my friends know something and they're just not telling me. They're leaving me out of it. But it has to hurt so much. Wow, did you just kill that in the last few minutes? That's amazing. Having a weapon really helps. Teach me how to bring Shuras down in one hit too. Asha, Yuta's gonna teach me some deadly moves. No matter what happened, they would never say that you're a Shura. Yuta's gone. What does the checkpoint matter since we won't be able to find him even if we leave now? You're so heartless, Asha. What'd Yuta ever do wrong? You've been so cold toward him since we left the channel. Alright, fine. Let's go look for Yuta. So, which way? You lead the way. If you really were a Shura. How can you eat at a time like this? Who knows what could be happening to Yuta right now? Lise, Yuta isn't as weak as you think. And while everyone knew, and they were hiding it from me. Yuta, I don't know what I would have done if you hadn't come running after me like that. Thank you so much. And then she realizes it probably means that I didn't make you trust me enough. Man, this is rough. It means I seemed like someone who would abandon a good friend simply because they're from a different race. Of course I am. Let's hurry over to the temple. I don't know if it's because I'm hungry, but my eyes are getting dimmer. So I closed my eyes. Yuta, I brought you some stuff to eat. And I like this too, seeing how she saw the hints again and again. She's not an idiot. I love this writing, because in so many circumstances we just kind of had this argument a bit with Tower of God, characters that shouldn't be idiots kind of acting like idiots. I love that it's something that Lise isn't an idiot. She's seen the signs this entire time, but nobody would come out and tell her, so she herself is like, yeah, now looking back, the hints were always here, but I just kept looking away. I just kept ignoring the hints. I kept ignoring the evidence, because nobody would tell me, and it's not like she wanted to believe it. So she closed herself to the possibility. Yuta, I brought you some stuff to eat. I was going to make you vegetable porridge, but you told me to just bring you some raw meat. So it's supposed to be for your fever, huh? I've never heard anything like that before, but Asha knows better than I do. What kind of a half gets a fever? Let's see, has your temperature gone down a bit? And she's remembering this moment. It was better for me to be a clueless friend than one whom you couldn't trust. So, did you just test it out? Jeez, didn't even think about how Lise feels. Wouldn't it be better for her to find out now and prepare in advance? What I'm saying is the way you treat Lise. She leaves on her own. I didn't want to accept that I was the only one being alienated. So I believed when they said you were a half. I believed that everyone was telling me the truth. I thought even if it wasn't the truth, as long as you trusted me enough to tell me someday, it would really make me happy. And again, this is so, like, being Kubera is suffering. It's again like with the Asha stuff, where she was hoping, here, that one day Yuta would have told her the truth of his own will because he trusted her. But instead, the way that she's finding out the truth is that his hand's being forced. God, that was so good. That's like just halfway through, and that was such an incredibly good scene. Part 2, Episode 76, The One Standing Before Me, Part 6. We have more of the crashing of the fight between Marna and Yuta. Your speed really is remarkable for a third stage Rakshasa. Only a very few could attack you with physical force without any transcendentals. But, and he slams him, it's still not enough to escape from me, Jatayu. You don't even stand a chance like this. You'll never win this if you keep stalling like that. Is it really important for you to win, brother? I'm not fighting to win. And it looks like a transcendental raining down? I even let you hit me with your transcendental. Is this all you've got? Look, Jatayu, while you were using that pathetic skill... Okay, so that's Yuda's transcendental raining down. It looks kind of Garuda-ish, so I guess it's a Garuda-type transcendental, maybe? He can use like some Garuda, some Taraka, since he's in between them. Or maybe even Taraka doesn't even necessarily have transcendentals, it's just his vision that causes people to not be able to use their transcendentals. I was stealing your most important weapon from you. Now, you can't block my transcendentals. And we see that his eyes were carved out. Do you really think you can still fight me? This stupid fucking bird. Look at his face. Sorry, I'm distracted. If a body part's consumed and absorbed as vigor, the regeneration speed for that body part slows down dramatically. Lise, has she gotten away safely now? Let's stop this now. I don't want to get any rougher with you. No, you'll need to do more than this if you want to take me, brother. After reading your own little brother's eyes... Naruto? Are you really going to act like you have any kind of compassion? Why don't you hit me, beat me, and rip me to pieces even more mercilessly? My body will regenerate anyway, so what does it matter? Jatayu, stop mocking me. I'm not doing this because I want to. Is that so? Then have you considered my perspective, even a little bit? Didn't I already tell you I'm doing this for you? No, don't try to rationalize this as being for my sake. I never wanted this. You really don't miss a beat. And why did you have to develop why'd you have to develop now and make things so complicated? Jatayu, do you realize how rude you've become after your transformation to stage 3? Brother, this isn't because I transformed, it's because I don't understand your plan. You expect me to just blindly follow you when you won't even tell me why, and you try to force me to go with you. It would be impossible to convince you, so why bother, huh? Fine, if you won't come with me, then you leave me no choice. I didn't want to go this far, but you'll have to deal with it, even if it hurts. Everything will be all sorted out when you regain consciousness. Brother, you really want to solve this with brute force, all for the power of our name. A reunion has to be ruined like this. And he hears the sound. We see the sword flew past and crashed into one of the hillsides. Huh, you dodged. Too bad. That may have been my first and last chance. Why? Why on earth did she come back? I told her to run away. At this point, this is just being stupid, not naive. Don't you get it? You can't beat him, Lise. Thank you, Yuda. Thank you for trusting me and showing me this. Thank you for trying to protect me. I'm really grateful, but I'm sorry I can't run away like you want me to. I tried to, but I just couldn't leave without you. God, that's such a good panel. I'm getting emotional. This is so good. Mother, is this a dream? I always thought it was an impossible dream. And his eyes come back. To expect Lise to accept me as I am after figuring out my identity. And Marina's Transcendental rains down. To be continued. An incredibly good chapter. Extremely, extremely good. That first half was one of the best scenes in the series, and I feel like that it happens so often. It happens so often, I keep saying it. And then, on top of that, the back half, the rest of this scene, was so emotionally charged, so good. I don't fully get Marina. Again, he has his own plan. He wants to take Yuta. You can kind of see where he's coming from for some things. But, you know, kind of a bird brain. Kind of a stupid bird. So, either way, let's see if there's anything at the end, and if not, I'll jump to the afterward. Okay, no bonus content for that one, so straight into the afterward. We have my manhwa's trying to be a shoujo manhwa, which seems like a shonen manhwa. The introduction for the webtoon says it's a fantasy romance. This is not just fantasy, but a fantasy romance. Now, even if you don't want to believe it, you will believe it, folks. Smirking emoji. It's a romance, she swears. Then text not translated. Then There are many scenes to remind you of past events. If you exclude the flashbacks, there are still a lot of scenes, but the flashbacks are really long, so it feels like I filled this episode with a lot of them. They're arranged differently from what you usually see in Webtoon, more like how they are in the books. Then, when I drew Yuta's injuries, it didn't look like his eyes were clawed out and eaten, so I worried if I should redraw it to make it more obvious. But since his blood is black, even if I give it more details, I don't think it would make things any more clear, so I just wrote more dialogue to describe it. Smart. I think it looked fine. I am sometimes, when you're recording things, or especially if you're live, especially if you're streaming things, you get the debuff. You get like a solid maybe dozen to 3 dozen points knocked off your IQ. People who would normally be fine gaming, normally be fine reading things, when you're like on the spot, again, especially streaming, less so recording, but still kind of recording, it kind of knocks some IQ points off, where you're thinking about it like me. I'm thinking, oh my god, are things recording correctly? I'm like constantly glancing over just to make sure things are still all right, like the camera's still good, OBS is still good, so your mental bandwidth, a little bit more of it is taken up by other things than if you were just, chill reading on your own. Plus, as I'm reading, I'm like, okay, I've got to remember to like, vocalize my thoughts really and add more to what I'm saying than just like silently sitting there scrolling, reading to myself. So, you're thinking about different things while you're going through. So even me who, can miss some things for sure, I could tell pretty much instantly, okay, that's what happened. It helped that they mentioned things, but it wasn't difficult, so I think it worked really great. But yeah, either way, with that done, let's go to the next chapter. Also, really quick, I will say, sorry, I try not to scroll down any past the afterword, because after that there's always a notes section, and I don't look at the notes section. I'm pretty sure that has spoilers. I'm pretty sure that's like notes as in connecting things to the greater lore, including things that you don't learn about until the future. So I don't look at that section, and I try not to show it on screen, because though the vast majority of you are probably people who read and have read way ahead of me, and this isn't going to be spoiling you, just for the sake of anybody who might be following along with my videos, I wouldn't want to show anything that was spoilery on screen. Again, let alone reading it myself, I wouldn't want to show it to anybody else either. So yeah, either way, next chapter. On to chapter 77, we're continuing with the raining down of the Transcendental. It would have been better for her own sake to run away from my brother. And then we have One Standing Before Me, Part 7. Just craters littering the ground. Is that really your choice? Getting hit with my Transcendental to protect that human? I'm fine, brother. Maybe it's because I've developed. Regenerating myself has gotten a lot easier. I was distracted because the dots, the ellipses over the beak reminds me of all the old brother memes, but with the markings over the O. I kept getting distracted. I'm fine, brother. He may be mixed blood, but he's still half Garuda, so I never expected his regeneration speed to develop that much. The Garuda clan have a lower regeneration speed compared with other Shura. Again, I can't wait until I'm basically caught up and I can actually look at info like this on the wiki so I can learn more about this kind of thing. Well, this complicates things. Sagara's probably finished doing whatever she was doing by now, and I haven't been able to sense Hura's presence for the last while. I can't drag things out here any longer. I'm gonna have to leave for today, Chitayu. Don't get the wrong idea, I still haven't given up on you. I'm only backing off right now because the situation requires it. But as long as I know that you're on this planet, I suggest that you don't even think about running away from me. I'll come back for you again, when the time is right, but if you change your mind before then, come to Rind Hollow. Do you honestly think I'll change my mind? I look forward to seeing you soon. Maybe Marana's thinking that after this gets out, the humans are going to turn on him, and then because of the humans turning on him, it's going to strain his relationship and his ability to be around. Or maybe he's just going to think more about how he really needs to see what's going on with the Shuras and with his family. And maybe from Marana's perspective, that's why he's like, I'm going to see you soon. He flies off. It's over, Lise. I'll let you out now. Sorry for suddenly putting you in my mouth. You didn't faint because you thought I was going to eat you, did you? Sorry, Yuta. I came back because I said that I couldn't leave without you. But all I did was get in the way without even helping you. No, Lise, I'm so happy that you came back. I still can't do anything even with the Sword of Return. Nothing. Wait. So she can understand what he's saying now. I still can't do anything even with the Sword of Return. Nothing. Sorry, did I prick you? It's alright, I'm okay. And he's gonna get blood in his mouth. Is that gonna be bad? I knew you had a lot of teeth, but I never realized just how many you have. Do you bite your tongue a lot? It must be really uncomfortable. There's no time to wonder about my teeth. Hurry up and come out. Doesn't it occur to you that I could close my mouth now? How much longer do you have to stay in that form? You can go back to normal, right? We'll probably get attacked if we run into any other magicians, looking like this. Are you really worried about that right now? I wonder if anyone saw. Probably, right? With all that noise. Someone. What should we do? Can you keep hiding this? Would they still believe you're a half? Halves don't grow this fast, please. You probably didn't see me properly before, right? I wish I were taller. What do you think, Lise? And we see his new form. I like it. I like it a lot because it still really, really very much just feels Yuta. It feels so much the same. I know it's kind of sudden, but I'm sorry for treating you so much like a little kid all this time. If you'd like me to speak more politely, it doesn't matter, Lise. And he carves into the ground. Don't you hate that I'm a Shura? Well, when you suddenly changed into a Shura, for a second I felt something rising up inside me. But was that hatred? No, I think I was afraid for a moment, but I snapped out of it when I saw that you had written run on the ground. It's the same Yuta. He's showing me his true identity, that he's been hiding for my sake. Do you know who that Shura was before? He hesitates. Well, I do. That white and red bird that makes the sky red, that killed everyone in my village, and it even chased after me to try to kill me too. I've imagined tearing it to pieces thousands of times, but seeing it in front of my own eyes, I couldn't do anything. But you're different, Yuta. You're not like that nasty bastard. I know very well how kind and sweet you are. Bad guys are bad guys, and you're you. How could I hate someone just because of their races? I'm not like that, Yuta. Again, I really, really, really like this scene too. Like her justification to herself and getting into her mindset and what she was thinking at the time, and her just openly vocalizing it. And then, we're friends. We trust each other, right? He nods. Thanks. First, and again, even now, her friends are still hiding things from her. First, I should pull out that sword. I wish it would come flying to me if I called it. I'm its owner, after all. Doesn't that seem right? There's a boundary starting to form between you and me. You may have accepted the fact that I'm a Shura, but that's because you think I'm on your side, and that I'm not bad. Wow, did you see that, Yuta? The sword came right back to me when I stuck my hand out. And he's clapping. I love the set of panels. That's so good. I could probably ambush someone with this if I use it right, huh? But I'm not as kind as you think, and I'm not entirely on your side. I understand that you want revenge from my brother, but that doesn't mean I can help you get revenge. He may be an enemy to you, but to me he's the only brother I have. Well, we'd better start looking for Asha. So, are these three the only three kids of Garuda? So is the Garuda, like, tribe, clan, whatever, only children of other Garuda Gnostica, with the exception of Marana, who kind of feels like the, well, I was going to say kind of feels like the heir to Garuda, but that's not really how things work, because only Gnostica take over as the next king, right? And even though he is also Rakshasa, Yuta is kind of feeling like he took the Taraka path essentially, and seemed like he was kind of groomed. And I suppose like it would make sense that he would be the next ruler. He's kind of not just a Rakshasa, but he's special. And then on top of that, you have Kalavinka, which we still know like nothing about. Well, we'd better start looking for Asha. I'm sure I was with Asha, but I don't remember how I ended up here. So again, before it was like just something took over her. I don't know if it's the Lees within, the power of the name taking over, if God Kubera consciously has any knowledge of it or anything to do with it, if it was the sword affecting her. There's a lot of things it could have been. Yuta, what were you doing before you got here? Do you think we can find Asha? He nods. What a relief. Then let's hurry and find her. You'll probably understand, since you're trying to avenge your own family. You'll understand how much my brother means to me. But understanding something is very different from accepting it. You won't be able to accept me protecting your enemy. It would be hard for you, no matter how kind you are. We don't need to walk this close together. Unless I abandon my brother, or you forget about getting revenge, this won't work between us. Emotionally, we won't be completely in sync. I don't think you really need to be completely in sync. I think for now you can just continue on the friendship as is, and then cross those bridges when you get to it, because at this point, I don't think Lise knows enough to be so dead set on her revenge that she can't completely give up on it, and I think that we don't know enough, and of course Yuta doesn't know enough about how far Marina's potentially fallen, and we still don't know if abandoning Marina is something that's potential in the future. So it's one of those things where you just continue on for now until you find out, is abandoning Marina something you can do, or is giving up on your revenge something you can do. No matter how close we get, there will always be a clear boundary between us. Well, it might seem a bit strange to say this since I've walked really close to you before, and I think Lise giving up on her revenge is much more likely in the sense that it's not like killing Marina is going to bring her village back or anything. Unless that is how it works in Kubera because of the no survivor things, and maybe you all just laughed at that because I am completely wrong. Before you seemed like a little brother, but now, but I don't want to worry about that boundary right now. Lise, do you know how I feel when I look at you now? Yuta, I'm not doing this because I don't like you. And she puts her hand on his face. It's just that when you come that close, that tickles. And then he licks her hand. You freak, you weird. The immediate jump to gray. Ew, what are you doing? That's so good. Blood. So you did it because I was bleeding after I got cut before. Yuta, this kind of thing doesn't get better by licking it. I need to use a recovery spell. Let's hurry and find Asha. For her own sake, it was better for her to run away. From my brother, and from me. Man, okay, very good chapter once again. Very deep once again into the characters and their thoughts. Oh my god. I love Kubera so much because so many other series will rush things and it's like, okay, we need to get to this big event. We need to get to this big event. We need to get to this action set piece, this action set piece. But Kubera, we get action set pieces just every once in a while. We will spend dozens of chapters not really having big events or action set pieces. We will spend dozens of chapters just getting into the characters, talking about their thoughts and working through their thoughts, and it's so good. The writing is just so incredibly good. But either way, with that aside, I don't believe this one. I think the special extra content goes from 78 to 81, so we don't have that this time. We'll go to the afterward. Afterward this time says Lise with her hand on Yuta's face, not translated. Yuta Shura form. Regeneration speed is a very important skill in a battle between gods or Shuras. Even if one has a strong defense, there are many transcendentals that ignore defense. There's magic like this as well. It's called Bhavati Marut, So a substantial defense skill is regeneration speed. Okay, so Bhavati Marut, the Bhavati level destruction spell, ignores defense. Yuta desummoning a sword. Yuta's developed now, so I changed the black-wrapped stick into a belt. He doesn't have a cloak anymore, so he couldn't wear the stick the way he did before, and I didn't want him to hold on to it all the time. Now we have not translated, and then the bonus. Lise can't hear what Yuta says. She can only read his notes and understand him when he nods. She doesn't understand anything else. Some parts look like a conversation, but it's actually one-sided. I thought it was obvious, so I didn't think I needed to explain it, but a lot of you asked about it. Okay, so yeah, I was confused as if she was actually hearing him, because it seemed like she could, but that just makes this more rereadable. This makes it so I can go back, I can reread with the context confirmed, and really see it that way. So yeah, either way, with that aside, let's just get into the next one. Into this one where so we're starting with Huda. Now that the fight's over, it's like, what are we going to do? We have the stuff going on with Lutz, and the stuff going on with whatever Sagara was doing, everything going on in the city that we've been away from, what Asha and all are doing. We now that the fighting's over, we gotta see what's happening with the Shura in general, what's happening with Cossack. There's so much right now. I would assume we'll probably also get a little check-in with Agni, at least, maybe, but that might wait until, I don't know, maybe next section or something, because again, it's like, okay, it's like when we had Night at Rainfire, or like when we have any big sort of event happening, it's like, okay, last time Night at Rainfire was kind of the climactic ending bit for the Atera characters, and then Lies for You was kind of our climactic ending bit for the traveling characters. So this is a big climactic event. Where do we go from here? Because last time that was the end of the season. This time we still have a lot more season to go. So it's like, what does this end up transitioning into now? Because we've been here so long in Calibloom that it makes me think, okay, we might be in Calibloom for longer dealing with the characters and stuff, but we might also be moving on from Calibloom. We might be getting into a new journey, and it makes me think, what's the new journey going to be? So I am very excited. We're starting with Huda, though. This is amazing. Huda is one of my favorites. What is? I'm yelling. Marana, are you hurt? I think that girl used to spell to cancel regeneration. Unlike you, I don't let humans hit me. Well, as long as you're not hurt. The sky's starting to go back to its normal color now. The red sky is like a flare, letting everyone know that you're here. Looks like you're not fit for guerrilla moves. They've probably even noticed in Calibloom that you're fighting here. What are you going to tell the snakes? All I did was use my transcendental attack on humans. Come on, I saw what happened. So your clan's name is with your brother, huh? For such an important secret, don't you think you let it slip a bit too easy? So the clan's name is with your brother. So, interesting. We have the power of the name. God Kubera has the power of the name, right? But the power of the name has moved on to Lise. And again, my best theory right now is that as Lise gets stronger, then God Kubera will weaken until God Kubera basically fades out of existence, dies, whatever, and Lise takes on the mantle of the next Kubera. So the way that Marana spoke was as if they shared the power, like all three of the siblings. And he did mention that Garuda collapsed and has been out of commission since the upheaval, right? So is it another thing where as the three siblings get stronger, Garuda's going to get weaker because the power of the name Garuda is with the three of them, and maybe the three of them have to be together. They have to be as one. Maybe that even includes, I don't know, eating each other, fusing together, who knows? But either way, it seems like the power of the name Garuda might be with them. And I didn't know that even Shura could have the power of a name, since the elements between them kind of coexist or correlate to the gods' elements. For such an important secret, don't you think you let it slip a bit too early? So I don't know if it's specifically with Yuta or if it's with the three of them, because it seemed more like the way they were talking, it was with the three of them. I'll tell them you got killed by the humans, Huda, and then... Oh, wait, I'm not done yet. Wait until I'm done speaking to decide what you want to do. Now we have The One Standing Before Me, Part 8. We're seeing Asha looking on. I'm someone who wants more than anyone for this child to be happy. You constantly oppress her and treat her against her will. But I only respect the path that she's chosen. That does sound like something that God Kubera would say. If that is him actually getting involved. Why you? Why just you, and not me? Hey Asha, you look kind of upset, best girl arriving with a duffel bag. It's not your fault that those people died, so don't blame yourself too much. A lot of people survived thanks to you. I'm alright. You shouldn't be the one comforting me, Par, since you lost some close companions too. Thankfully, there aren't really any Shuras near the city now, and things are gradually settling down. So I wonder then what the snakes were doing. The problem is over by the temple. From what I've heard, there are several Rakshasa lurking nearby. If the Upani were sent to hit the city while the Rakshasa took over the temple, it seems like they want something from the temple and not the city. I guess maybe the God class items that Claude was trying to see. There are probably some of the God Kubera's God class items stored in the Earth Temple, right? Yeah, but the items in the temple had their own security system. Only the priest could access them, so not even Rakshasas could run off with them. They could kidnap and blackmail the priest. It's not like they don't have any options. True. Then rather than force our way into the temple, would it be better to save the remaining people here and hope that the Shuras will take the items and leave? Charging the Rakshasa in our current state won't do any good. And when the reinforcements from Eloth that Zard mentioned, when are the reinforcements from Eloth that Zard mentioned supposed to arrive? Huh? She reacts. How on earth can it still be alive after getting hit with that? I would have just run if I had known. We have Claude, why was I about to say Claude? We have Arish booking it. Ah, my poor bomb. What a waste. What are you just standing there for? Save me. Hurry. What did you come here for? Do you think I wanted to come here? I had to when the Shura started attacking the Magic Union. Okay, so they're not attacking the temple, they're attacking the Magic Union. Hey, where are you going? Hurry up and save me! Asha turns around. I think the Magic Union would be more important. I agree. Hey, I'll make you sorry for this. What do you want? I'll do whatever you say. Hey, don't go. I said don't go. Don't leave. Asha brings something out. Hoti? Indra. Okay, it's the weapon from before. And we see the power from Hoti Indra using that. Don't just stand there. Hurry up and get up here, Miss Rish. Right. Then, is Kloche not here yet? What's taken so long? I thought they said the security system was off. Looks like the passage itself is structured as a maze. Then wake that priest up somehow. If you take him with you, then... Sorry I'm late, Sagara. Here, I brought God Kubera's God class items. It's just like they say, we could reduce the size of it easily. Good. Well, let's get out of here. We don't need anything in this city anymore. I told the others to leave as the circumstances permit, so they're probably almost all outside the city by now. The humans probably think they drove us out. Let them to think whatever they want. Since we're... And then... Is this going to be Cossack interrupting things again? You're so fast, Mr. Cossack. Thanks, Mr. Cossack. We'll support you from behind, so fight as much as you like. We'll give you as much recovery magic. Get off, both of you. You're getting in the way. Okay. First, you guys save the priest. Just in case. Okay, that's so funny. They took a ride there. But just in case, where's Lutz? He jumped off before when he saw something flashing in the city. Ryagara, is there a chance that Marana might come here? Seeing that red spot in the sky at a distance from the city, looks like he was fighting with someone. We'll stop that half-blooded dragon somehow. So Sagara, you should first... No, I don't think that'll be necessary. Hasn't he only ever seen you in your Shura form? Okay. So they're planning something. Okay, that was a really cool chapter. That was really good. But with this one, I'm excited. I want to know what the bonus content stuff is. So let's go get into that. Also, I just want to say that was a great chapter. That was really good. I love jumping around to all these characters, and it kind of like it had me thinking something I've thought a lot too. I kind of like the way that so much of the cast is, I don't know a good way to say this without people one way or the other complaining or whining, so I'm just going to be honest and open. I like the way that so much of the cast is female characters. Like how there's a real, like, kind of split between them. I think often you get casts that are really, really, really male dominated, and it's mostly guys, and then you'll have like a couple female characters. Sometimes they'll be good, like in the case of Tower of God, really giving its female characters some respect most of the time, or it can be really bad in the case of Naruto, being like Kishimoto being awful at writing female characters. But I like, and then sometimes you'll have the series where it's like, and I don't mind series like that. I don't think that's a problem, but I like that Kubera is kind of a mix. Just like I don't think the opposite way is a problem, because you have a lot of series too where the cast will be like one useless male main character surrounded by the harem of female characters that are like super strong with crazy fighting powers and backstories and stuff. So you do get the opposite as well a lot of the time. And again, I don't like either or of those can be good or can be bad. Again, there are bad examples and there are good examples of both. But again, I like the mix, and I think it comes from Currygom being a female author. I like the really good mix of characters. And I like the mix too. We haven't seen too many gods yet, but I feel like we will in the future. But it seems like there are less gods that are important, and it makes sense for the gods to not just be everywhere. But that's kind of been mitigated by us seeing a lot of Agni. So, and Agni being such a developed character, and God Kubera has been around. So I think having that has helped. But I like the way that the cast is so mixed as well in terms of a bunch of human characters, but you got quarters in there, you got halves in there, which halves a lot of the time almost kind of feel like their own thing. And then of course you have tons of Shura characters. I like that we're really not holding back on giving us Shura characters, fully developing them, giving us human form ones, giving us ones from different like strata of their society. Again, I really like just the variety in character that we get in Kubera. From characters, again, that are more focused on one aspect of the story to ones that are more focused on other aspects. I really just love the variety, because I am a big fan of variety and a big fan of large casts of characters. But I think what's so great about Kubera is I love large casts of characters. Hero Academia has a large cast of characters, but the thing is, usually with these large casts of characters, there will be some that are like really well developed, and then a lot that even if they're around a lot, they're not really developed at all. But Kubera, of course, you can't argue that characters like Lee's don't have like a million times more development than characters like, say, Pingara, but that's not to say that Pingara doesn't have any development. It's just that Lee's is really, really good. I like that we have this wide cast of characters, but the wide cast of characters is getting attention, getting character stuff. I like that so much. So again, I just love how wide a net Kubera is without being shallow. It's also really deep. There's a lot of depth to all of it and all the different connections. So again, I really, really love all that. Just praising the writing a little bit. But let's go see what this thing at the end is. Okay, so at the end we have... Okay, lines of Korean messaging program. Alright. Can't Yuta take his mask off in Shura form? This thing, we have Currygom reaction in the back. Epilogue to chapter 78. Then, after Yuta's Stage 3 Shura form was revealed, what's up with the Shura form? I thought he was Dolharubang? And then, Dolharubang is stone statues of old men believed to safeguard well-being and make women fertile. Unique to Jeju, a province in Korea. For an idea of how they look, just Google it. Okay. And then, Yuta, can you just stay in human form, please? The royal chicken actually looks better than him. Marina, presumably. Author Nim, how could my Yuta... Editor. Just as planned. Sorry, Yuta. This is where Yuta looks awesome. Really, where you presumably get taken down a peg from being the most popular character, but then it just does not work. Yuta looks awesome. Really powerful. What, am I the only one who likes Ashura form? Yuta, I love every bit of you. If you all hate Ashura form, hand him over. He's mine now. I'm really touched. That thing on his face is a mask. Look closer. This? The other told me to wear... Gah, put it back on now. Don't wait, or don't make my efforts go to waste. You saw that, everyone? Rather than hope I take off my mask, it'll be easier to wait until I return to human form. Okay. Very, very fun. I loved that. So either way, with that aside, let's get into the afterword. Now into the afterword, we have Roosh running from Ashura, or should that be Rish, I'm assuming? I know that a lot of you were expecting Yuta today, but I didn't, but shouldn't I also clear up other stories now as well? Then Marna and Huda. Marna's diet mainly consists of snakes and insects. Huda's Shura form's too small, so Marna can't see it as food. Then Asha looking at Calibloom. So is Huda's a Rakshasa, right? Not Nupani? Or am I wrong? Or is Huda even like a 5th stage Mara? I think Huda's Rakshasa though, right? Unless I'm thinking wrong. Asha looking at Calibloom. There are many details about Asha that haven't been shown. The things I chose to omit could be guessed from the clues you can see in this episode. These are details that I didn't think were important enough to include in the webtoon. When she got her shoes back, when there's a plot to cover, I try to focus on the parts that need explaining. Then Clope holding the box and Cloche. Clope is a bit small in his 3rd stage of development. It's hard to believe that he's the same development as Yuta now. Are there no puberty issues for Clope at that stage? There are a few, but he doesn't feel them much. He's been stuck at that stage for a long time. Again, I wish, too, that it's one of those things where it's probably been mentioned, or it's probably in the blog that I can't look at. It's one of those things where I wish I could just look and see, like, what stage everybody's at and everything. And there might have even been boxes when they were first introduced to tell us, and I've just forgotten it. But yeah, I wish I knew. So are Clope and Cloche both at 3rd stage then? Same as Yuta now? And then Marna's 4th stage? And I would assume Pingata and Riagara, I would assume that they're both also... I'd assume that they're both also 4th stage like Marana. But yeah, either way, let's go to the next chapter. On 79 now, we have some paper fluttering down. Wow. So, the barrier's broken and the Shura invaded. Yuta, have you found Asha yet? He's scribbling. She's going to the Magic Union. I see, then let's head to the Magic Union too. You should find Asha and ask her to heal your hand. I'll go to the temple. The temple? With the city and the state, the temple must be in ruins too. Are you going to help the priest? You're so sweet, Yuta. There aren't any Shuras on the way to the Union, but there are 4 near the Union itself, so be careful. Although there's a good chance that Asha's already dealt with them. Okay, thanks, Yuta. You should be careful too. Remember, you still have to pretend to be a half, okay? Of course. Well, I'll head off first. Wait, which way's the Magic Union? Is it this way? Straight ahead? That's right. Good. I'm gonna run. She takes off. And of course we know that Lee's is like super, super fast. The One Standing Before Me, Part 9. That other group said they found the priest. He'll be here soon. But where are the Rakshasa that had the barrier stone? I don't even see a single Upani, let alone a Rakshasa. I think they ran off when they saw Mr. Cossack coming. So are things good for now? And they're all hiding in human form to sneak around Cossack. Thankfully, it looks like they still haven't noticed. I told you, we just have to quietly sneak out of the temple. There's no need to get into a fight we can avoid. And then Yuta's waiting for them. You managed to escape pretty well before, but this time, it won't be so easy, will it? And he's using what I'm assuming is the Transcendental with his eyes to keep them from using their Transcendentals. So I wonder, does the eye technically count as a Transcendental itself? Since it seems like it's something he has to use actively. Too slow. Then I can't tell exactly what's going on. I think that's the torsos of each of them. Yeah, that looks like the torsos of each of them, but then we have crumbling. And did he just evaporate them? Sagara, I didn't even see him. He attacked with his tail in Shura form and then hit it again. All of his moves were over before we heard a sound. This is only possible if his speed can match his partial Shura transformation speed. Ah, so you saw it. No wonder you're an Astika. They're both not dead. I just needed them out of the way. Yeah, I'm assuming they regenerate. Or maybe it's not even that they were completely evaporated so much as they were crushed by the rubble. Like, knocked into the rubble, buried, essentially. But I'm assuming they'll regenerate over time. I guess the only way to really kill a Shura is by special means or by eating it. But then again, Shura are killed by like magicians and fighters and stuff all the time. So I don't exactly know. Maybe the lower ones can be killed normally if you can just outspeed their regeneration or whatever, but the greater Shura regenerates so like crazy good that you basically can't kill them without special means. Maybe magic is a special means. Maybe normal ways can't kill them, but magic and magical items can. Maybe that's it. But it feels like maybe Shura can't kill other Shura without eating them, basically. Then they're both not dead. I just needed them out of the way. They lose their value as food when they're dead. Also, I feel like if he had just killed them, that'd kind of be a little anticlimactic. I like stories to do a little bit more with the characters, especially with deaths. I think deaths should really, really mean something. So you can kind of go wrong both ways by writing characters who have, I think there are two ends of the spectrum that are bad. Fake out deaths are bad because you write a potentially good death. One Piece does it a lot where it'll write a good death and then be like, oh no, they didn't actually die. They're actually alive. They survived. And then it ruins things because you wrote a good death, but you didn't give it the weight it deserves. You didn't give it the permanence that it deserves. And then on the other side of things, you can do poorly by just killing off characters and not having their deaths mean something, not having their deaths be good, because again, death is a big thing. It's something that, again, with the exception of some circumstances, should be pretty permanent. Again, like, gods aren't going to die permanently in the story of Kubera, really. Unless, of course, like, it's one of them ceding the power of the name to another person, like potentially God Kubera is going to die permanently when Lise becomes Kubera, if that's how things even work. So there is that, but death is such a big thing that when you just write characters and kill them off without actually using the death to be like something good writing wise, then I think that's also just as much, if not more, in my opinion, of a failure. Then, judging by the fact that they attacked first, it looks like those two thought they could win. So any more volunteers? And we see Pingata hiding. Was this the best hiding spot you could find? So, I thought it was Riagra and Pingata who got... Oh no, it was Riagra and Clope. Okay. So, Pingata's hiding around the corner. Was this the best hiding spot you could find? Surely you're not foolish enough to think you could use transcendentals or use a transcendental attack in a blind spot. Were you trying to ambush me or something? And it's crazy because if they are 4th stage, then Yura's really... I know Yura is very special among Shura, but even as a 3rd stage, he's embarrassing them. But I think it is because he's special. He's basically half god. But you're way weaker than those two before. I wouldn't have even needed to use my tail. So saying that... Well, I guess that makes sense. Saying that Pingata's weaker than even Clope, but then I think they said before that Pingata specializes in stealth. Wow, look at how quickly you regenerate. Breaking your bones won't be enough. And we have Cloche freaking out. And then he wipes his mouth. Don't look at me like that. I don't usually eat things when I'm in my human form. I only did that because things could get messy if I turn into my Shura form. So I guess, well, Pingata's permanently dead then. Considering the fact that you haven't even moved yet, looks like you can't fight at all without your transcendentals. And anyway, I've got to ask you something. I will say, I'm not going to say the scene's bad or anything, but sometimes Currygom does have a little issue of going a little overboard with the owl the edge. I know, again, a lot of this was written in like early to mid 2010s, but a lot of it is a little over the top with the edge. You know what I mean? Then, considering the fact that you haven't even moved yet, it looks like you can't fight at all without your transcendentals. Anyway, I've got something to ask you. I can't just ignore it now that I know my brother's involved. Why are you attacking the humans, and how did you trick my brother? His brother. Wait. It looks like there's a little misunderstanding. I never really tricked your brother, and Sagara is just chill throughout all of this. Don't lie to me. Why else would he team up with the snakes and treat me like this? Ah, so the Red Sky was a remnant of Marina's fight with this kid. I don't know much about your brother's situation either. One thing I know for sure is that he's working with us for the sake of the Garuda clan. If you get in our way here, it will only hurt the Garudas. What do you mean? Please be more specific. We hear a thud. And then Cossack is there. Ah, Mr. Cossack. You might not recognize me now that I'm all grown up. Do you remember me? I borrowed your earrings. Die. And we have a smash. Hey, listen, I'm not the one you should be attacking. I don't think so. And now we have the others making an escape. I don't know what's going on, but I think we'd better use this chance to take everyone and get out of here, Sagara. We're seeing Ryagara now. To be continued. And Sagara in male form. Okay. Hell of a cliffhanger, so it's good that we still have one more. Let's go and let's read the thing at the end. Okay, we have epilogue to chapter 79, How They Came Back to the City. In the case of Asha, use a spell. Hotivayu grabbed onto the adorable Chibi Par. Arrival. In the case of Lise, runs. We can fly there, you know. Keeps running. I said we can fly there. Abduction. Yoink. Arrival. That's funny. Okay. Okay, really funny. I liked that a lot. Let's go then to the afterword. Now for our afterword, we have text not translated. Yuta holding up his writing. When you see Yuta in chibi form, he looks like the cute Yuta from before he developed. Yuta's ugly tail moves lightning fast and disappears. Just her calling it ugly. Rest of the text is not translated. Something about how to read the epilogue involving Yuta. Then Yuta's now with Lisa's group, so if he was an enemy, other than his power, his way of talking and his actions are really like that. Yes, it's hard to tell who the bad guy is, but he's not like this because he developed, since he was the same in the past. If you can't recall, see episode 246. At the time, he wasn't strong enough for this personality, but now he is. And then Yuta wrapping a scarf around Pingata. I can't show you how Yuta eats in his human form. If you're very curious, then you should see a certain manga where the main character has a friend named Migi. You could guess it if you see it. The manga is limited to 19+. I'm not going to explain anything more about this in the manga's Parasite. To find out what happened to Pingata, you should see the next episode. Huh? You can't click on it? So maybe he didn't fully eat Pingata even. Maybe he even ate a part of him. And if you eat a part, does it not regenerate? I wonder. So I wonder if he ate Pingata's arm or something, is Pingata just now going to be armless? Again, and like I said before, having Pingata not be dead, but to use this for further development in the future, because we really haven't developed the members of Sagara's group that much. To use this for more development in the future, I think is actually good. Though again, it's like, how much do we need to develop every single character? Like, I think Teo was great from, like, we didn't get an absolute ton. We didn't get like a Lee's amount from Teo, but Teo was still extremely well developed. We saw a lot from Teo's perspective, and then Teo's story, if she doesn't get revived somehow, is over. At least in terms of Teo herself, not the effect that Teo has on others. So I think that was like really, really good, but not every character, again, is going to get the Lee's treatment. Not every character is going to be that developed. So how much do you really need to develop somebody like Pingata or Clope, Cloche, etc.? So Either way, we will continue on to the last one for this week. Okay, episode 80 at another 10 chapter milestone. Okay, Mom, and Ron's waking up. Is this... it's the Magic Union. But why is it so quiet? I guess the magicians couldn't just stand by and watch as all those halves tore the place up. Ron passed out when the Gunharva clan halves were running rampant. I wouldn't be of any help even if I went out there. Damn it. Why am I so afraid of halves when I could beat them with my power? We have a thud. He looks over. Oh no, have the halves made it this far? What should I do? Should I run away? But where? Crap. Why isn't there anyone here? Someone, please come out and help me. And it looks like a full-on Shura. Hoti Brahma, Bhavati Brahma. If you can't even kill a single Upani, then what good are you, little brother? And we're seeing the full loots now, creating what looks like a gun, and he just blasts. Part 2, Episode 80, The One Standing Before Me, Part 10. Now we're seeing Yuta. I can't beat him in this form. If I turn into my Shura form here, I'll blow my cover to the humans. I'll just run for now. I have no choice. Then Gossic's looking on. The earth barrier turned on again a minute ago. Are there any Shuras left? I don't think so, but we'll have to look around a bit more. I can't even imagine how much it'll cost to restore the city here. At least we can always just go back to Elos. I'm assuming they mean Eloth. I'm telling you, I really can't kill an Upani. I just thought that was a half... I really can kill an Upani. I just thought that was a half back there. Some things never change. What do you mean? I told you I can kill them. Just trust me. Sir, you found your brother. I'm so relieved that he's safe. Thank you. I'm happy to see my brother safe too. Why don't you listen to me if you're so happy? But how'd you know where your brother was? I knew the magician who was with him for his graduation quest. I saw some magic that only that magician could have used. Okay, so what he saw, the sparkle, was the, was it Hoti Indra? Yeah, I think it was Hoti. The Hoti Indra from Asha, which is what I was thinking that he saw, but sorry, didn't vocalize it. So I went to check it out and he was here. Wait, you mean, there you are, Lutsirafe. You made it back. Thank you for helping me find my brother so quickly, Ashirahiro. Don't mention it. Oh great, I owe her again. I thought we'd be even once I gave the modified height of bondage back. Is that the height of bondage that you have on now? Yeah. My brother asked me to modify it for him, but I ended up putting it on and now it won't come off. I can only modify it once a month since it's a God class item. Since I'm responsible for it now, I'll keep it until next month. Looks like sometimes even a monkey falls out of a tree. A priest screwed up a modification. So you can't shower for a month? Looks like all those girls who are following you around are gonna run off. Haha. It's stuck to my clothes, not my body, little brother. Then Lutsirafe Quarter, 45 years old. Older brother of Ron Sirafe, the head of the creation brand Atram, priest of Eloth creation, magic rank A, ranked 22nd place. His ranking is lower than his actual abilities because he failed to comply with the requirements for the magic test. He won second place for the N7 championships, but for some reason did not participate again. Okay. So he is even stronger than 22nd, but his rank is 22nd. Okay. And of course he's the priest and the head of a creation company with a triple creation attribute. Presumably, of course, because he's the priest. Looks like you still spit out whatever you're thinking, just like before. Sorry. Sir, the priest of Earth wants to see you for a minute. What? Sierra wants to see me. Yeah, the priestess of chaos is currently missing, but the priest of death is here now. So I think she wants to speak with you together about this situation. Alright, of course I'll go. Asha, Lise, see you later. See you. What about me, brother? Hey, Asha, you're probably wondering where and what I've been doing, right? Tell me later. I'm not in the mood to talk to you right now. Jeez. Alright, all finished, Uehura. How the heck did you all hurt your heads at the same time? Look, we need to talk. Guys? Are you guys all purposely giving me the silent treatment? This isn't good. Sagara, could you please tell me what's going on? It's driving me nuts. Why are you being like this too, Sagara? Stop it, Huda. Everyone's still stunned by that sudden attack. We almost died. That's why. And then she looks over to Marana. That half-dragon from Matera just showed up. Wow, no way. I can't believe he flew halfway across the planet that quickly. He was probably wandering around using the Crescent Gate without really thinking about it. He'll have to really get hurt once to smarten up. Okay, so that's why they were saying he was using the Crescent Gate without thinking about it because of the dangers of the Taraka Shura, I'm assuming. Still, it's a good thing we managed to get what we were after, at least. At least it wasn't a waste of time, right? So they're saying it crazy, like, wow, he traveled across the globe that quickly, but how are they traveling? Are they just finding it normal for themselves to travel that quickly? Or do they have some sort of fast travel that I'm just not privy to? I guess so. But what were you doing, Marana? I saw the sky turn red before. I just fought back against the humans since they provoked me. And now they're going to know that he was lying. That's a lie. So in the end, you didn't do anything, Marana. You just stood by and watched when Gandharva and Agni fought too, didn't you? Although I guess not even a powerful Rakshasa could get involved in a fight like that. Do you know what happened to Gandharva? No, I don't. We headed for the city as soon as Agni disappeared. Why, is there a problem? He's gone, without a trace. Really? Doesn't get much more pathetic than that. Did he go dig a hole to crawl into? Do you know why Gandharva turned into a Shura? I'm not sure. If I knew how he did it, I would have done it too. I'm asking about the reason, not how. I don't know. How am I supposed to understand the mind of a self-styled pacifist? And again, we have these lies that are kind of half-lies, but are also still lies coming from both sides. Anyway, we've taken care of... Because again, I believe that Sakata really truly doesn't know, in the sense that she doesn't know why he would go that far for a... Like, why would anybody go that far for a human? But she does know in the sense of, oh yeah, cause and effect, it's because we killed the priestess. Anyway, we've taken care of everything, so let's head back. There were a few unexpected variables, but at least we got what we came for. And we're seeing Pingata in the background. Now we can finally end this fight with one strike before it keeps dragging on. So hang in there, everyone. Just wait, Ananta. No matter how much more blood needs to be spilled on this path, in the end, you'll be the one laughing. So it makes me wonder, with the power of the name and everything, does that mean that the king is the one with the power of the name? So Sagara has the power of the name Ananta now, or is it something else? Does somebody else still have it? Okay, that's it actually. Next chapter, the good. Okay. Wow. There's just so much to think about, honestly. And she's speaking to Ananta within her head. I don't necessarily think that means Ananta's alive, but maybe? Maybe there's a chance Ananta's hiding somewhere, but as the king, is it just that the name Ananta now is with somebody else? And is that how it works? Like, even though technically Garuda's still alive, with the transitional period of the power of the name or something, then do the three siblings have the name Garuda? It's really, or does just Yuta have it? It's really, there's a lot going on. There's so much complexity, and I don't have what's necessary to speculate too much further on it. But either way, let's go check out the thing at the end. I'm excited to see another one of those. Alright. We get Par. Parudni has 4 ears, so she must have good hearing. Ears? No, I only have 2. Then the pointy things on your head are just for show? No, those are my ears. What I mean is, there's nothing under here. And she pulls the hair back. Lisa's reaction. I just had a nightmare where she only had 2 ears. It wasn't a dream, so that is how it works. Okay, good. I kind of prefer that. It kind of throws me off in series where they have animal ears, but then they also have the human ears, so they have 4 ears. I'm like, just like, character designs don't look weird without the human ears. Like, you can give them animal ears and then just remove the human ears, and the design doesn't look weird, even with the ears removed. So it's perfectly fine to just not give them ears. So yeah, par best girl, of course. Either way, that is it, I guess. I guess maybe we'll wait a couple months. It'll be months ahead from now, but time has been flying lately because all I do is work all day every day. So time has been flying, so it won't be that long. When we get to Valentine's Day, maybe I'll do a like best girl ranking for Kubera. So either way, with that aside, let's finish it with our last afterward. Last afterward this week, we have text not translated. Okay, scared Ron. Ron's fear of halves is expressed seriously here. Did you notice how it seems different than when it showed comically? And then Yuta with red eyes. If you're curious about the length of fabric that sticks to Yuta when he runs around, it clearly defies common sense as well as gravity. Then Ron and Lutz walking. Lutz RFA has amazing stats. It's a mystery how Ron could have a brother like that, yet have no particular complex or jealousy of him. Then Pingara, Clofe, and Iriagara. Pingara's not dead. I wanted to treat the deaths of main and supporting characters in an important... Currygom is the GOAT in an important way based on how often they've appeared in the webtoon. When they die powerlessly like extra characters, it makes me angry. Then typo will be fixed tomorrow. So Pingara's not dead. I guess maybe he just regenerated whatever parts were eaten. But yeah, you know, common Currygom W. Absolutely common Currygom W. She is the GOAT. So yeah, with all that aside, massive 5 chapters. This is going to be a long video. An incredible 5 chapters. They were so freaking good. So with that aside, now that we've gone through them, I guess I'll just end the video. Thank you for watching. Like if you did like the video, comment down there too. Tell me what you thought of these chapters, my thoughts and reactions. Subscribe for more Kubera, much more on the channel. Like I said, at around chapter 100-ish or so, I forget when people said, I'll have to go look again. I'll do another full character ranking. Like I said, maybe Valentine's Day I'll do a waifu best girl ranking or whatever. And of course, weekly, we're going to have more read-throughs. Plus, I'd love to do more reviews, discussions, tons of other stuff at some point. So either way, I guess that's it. I can't think of anything else. Follow on Twitter if you want. If you want a link to the Discord server, it's free and open for anyone. We can talk there. Just, you know, I'll give you a link if you want a link. Just ask. And if you want to help support the channel to help me to continue to make videos by dropping a super thanks, that's appreciated. But if you want to help me continue to make videos and also get your name at the end of said videos, get One Piece videos a little bit early, then you can hit join down below to become a channel member or go to patreon.com/Haku of the Tubes, or a link will be in the description to become a patron. Thank you so much to people who are patrons and channel members. Thank you to Chosen Regular, Evan Hawley, to Magical Girls, FR Nono, JA, and the D-Ban, to Cheriton students, David Langstaff and Folded Gold, to Slayer candidates, SG and Stan Cedar, and to Pure Element Pate Ardialo. Thank you all so much for your support. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you all next time.